Hi guys, Simon from Hide and Geek. We're doing an Aether Revolt box opening today. Need to make it very clear that Aether Revolt is not out until the 20th. All the product we're opening is for singles for store stock, but again will not be on sale until the 20th. So let's dive in. So lovely little advertisement for Amonkhet there. Can get rid of that. What token have we got? Aether. Who cares? So let's have a look. Aether's Express there. So just another addition into vehicles. Give +1/+1 on it when it attacks in form of a counter, and also only accrue 1. And the rare. Well, first of all, it's a mythic, Exquisite Archangel. So moving on to pack 2. Come on, masterpiece. Morph's Revolutionary, and Quicksmith Spy. Now I quite like Quicksmith Spy because I'm a control player and card draw is amazing for me. So as long as you're running artifacts, then when that comes in, gives it tap it, draw a card. So you know, free card draw. If you can get some clues out, don't have to sack the clue, just tap it. Pack 3. And we've got a Tezzeret. So Tezzeret, +1, create a colourless artifact token named Ethereum Cell. Sacrifice it, add a mana of any colour to you, so mana fixing. -2, target creature gets +X -X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control, so obviously that can be used to pump, can be used as a kill spell as well. And his emblem is at -7, where beginning of combat you target an artifact and it becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness of 5/5. That's quite good. The first 3 packs, 2 mythics. And pack 4. Get rid of that token. We've got a Merchant's Dockhand. So Renegade Map, that was quite good in sealed, just help you get that mana you need. Also use Consulate Turret in the pre-release in conjunction with the fabrication module, so tapping that to get up the energy and putting counters on things. And we've got a Peace Walker Colossus. Metallic Rebuke. Control players are going to love that, because with things like Baral, and if you can get anything else that reduces mana down, potentially you're casting that for 1 blue and countering the target spell unless it's controlled pays 3. It's also got Improvise on it as well, so you can tap your artifacts to pay for part of the non-colour specific costs. and Oath of Ajani. So Oath of Ajani, reducing your cost on Planeswalker spells, and also when it comes in you put in a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, so that's quite nice. Greenwheel Liberator. So this one is again very, very nice. So when it enters the battlefield, if something else is left, you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So yeah, that's very, very nice. And what we've got, I can see a foil there. It's a Restoration Specialist. Moving on to the next pack. Reverse Engineer, and we've got another Greenwheel Liberator. So special shout out to reprint of Shock there. Good 1 mana removal in red. Kari Zev. So Kari Zev is also quite good in the sealed pre-release. So 2 mana, 1/3 with First Strike and Menace, and also whenever she attacks, you create a 2/1 red monkey creature called Ragavan. It's tapped in the, attacking the exile at the end of the turn, so it just gets some more damage in, which is great. So, next pack. Consulate Dreadnought and a Fatal Push in there. Oh, and a Greenbelt Rampager, so I'm going to talk about all of these. So Consulate Dreadnought will die to Fatal Push, but it's a 7/11 for 1 mana with Crew 6. Now if you can get Siege modification on it, then that gives it +3 and also gives it First Strike, and you don't need to crew it, so that can be horrible, particularly in sealed. You may see some play in standard. Then Fatal Push, so destroy target creature if it has converted mana cost 2 or less. With Revolt, you can change that to converted mana cost 4 or less for 1 black mana, so that's going to be see a lot of play, I think. Then you've got the Greenbelt Rampager, so it's 1 mana for a 3/4. If you've got 2 energy, it stays on the battlefield. If you don't have 2 energy, it returns to your hand, but you get an energy. So either way, worst case scenario, that's going to cost you 3 mana for a 3/4. I think in the sealed, I had one of these, and I think I only once paid 3 mana because obviously there's that much energy creation in the set, and also in Kaladesh, that you're not going to have to worry about getting that out. So that's a really good, early game card in green. So let's have a look, see what we've got in here. With Metallic Rebuke, with Consulate Dreadnought, Scrap Trawler. Yeah, to be honest, it's not the best. It's a 3 mana 3/2, but you can return an artifact to your hand with lesser converted mana cost when this hits the graveyard. Scrap Trawler is actually the buy a box promo as well, so if you buy a box you will be getting one of those. Metallic Mimic is rare in that one. So when it comes in, you choose a creature type which is in addition to its other types, and each other creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So that might see a little bit of play, probably more in casual sealed draft than in standard, but we can see. Trophy Mage there, and then a Hope of Girapur. So this is a 1/1 flyer for 1. If you sacrifice it until your next turn, target player who is dealt combat damage by Hope of Girapur this turn can't cast non-creature spells. So that's basically just slightly controlling what your opponent can do. Saw a bit of play in the sealed. I don't think you can see that much play in standard. Another Renegade map. Free Jam region. So it's got improvise, so artifacts can help to cast its non-colour specific cost. It's 4/4 flyer for, well, worst case scenario 6, but in a heavy artifact set I think you're probably going to be paying a lot less than that for it. And for red and 1, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Not fantastic, but you know, you might see a little bit. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. Consulate Turret, special shout out to that again. Aid from the Cow. So, beginning of your end step, if permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, you may put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom of your library. So it's like things like Collected Company were, but higher mana cost, because I think that was a little bit too strong, Collected Company. So, you know, potentially might see some play, but I doubt it. A Shram. It's also foil planes there. So Shram, whenever you cast an aura, equipment or vehicle spell, draw a card. So obviously in a vehicles deck, you know, this is going to be very, very strong. You know, it's going to help to replace some of the card draw that you're missing because of a Smuggler's Copter getting banned in standard. But other than that, he's a 2/2 for 2, so with an upside. Ornithopter, so 0 mana, 0/2 flyer. Herald of Anguished, so a mythic there. So, converted mana cost of 7 with 2 black. Has got improvise, so artifacts can reduce that. 5/5 flyer, and also you can, for a black and 1, sacrifice an artifact as well as part of the cost. Target creature gets -2/2 till end of turn. And also at the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card. So, you know, could be in there for a bit of hand hate, but we'll see. I'm personally of the opinion that I don't think it's going to be good enough to see standard play, but we shall see. It depends how well improvise takes off, of course. Another on Aether Express. Siege modification I was speaking about earlier, so that's the one that you can use with the Dreadnought and give it +3, +0 and has first strike. And then we've got a Yaheni. So Yaheni is a 2/2 for 3 with haste. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Yaheni Undying Partisan. So he's like a kind of, he's almost like a little Kalatas without having to sack things to him, but obviously without the lifelink. Although if you sacrifice another creature, he does get indestructible till end of turn. So I think, interesting enough, you can actually cast him using his expertise. So the expertise gives -3/-3 across the board for a board wipe, and then you've got that down to 2/2 with haste to go in and do some damage. And we've got the Aethertide Whale. So this is a 6/4 for 6. When it enters the battlefield, you get 6 energy counters. Pay 4, return Aethertide Whale to its owner's hand. So I think the mana cost is probably too high to make it into a lot of decks, but you know, in sealed you'll probably get there, or in draft you'll probably get there. Another Metallic Rebuke. Rishkar, Pima Renegade. So again, managed to pull him in the sealed pre-release. So whenever he enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, and each of those creatures each creature you control with a counter on it has tap it, add green to your mana pool. So I think that's going to see possibly some play in some green ramp strategies. You know, and obviously the counters makes everything just that little bit better. So moving on. Mechanized Production. So, Mechanized Production. 4 mana cost, enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. I don't know quite how much it's going to see. Obviously, it's a combo there. It is possible to do it, especially if you can get that out turn 4. Not sure if it's going to be quick enough, but we shall see. And then the Yaheni's expertise that I was talking about. So all creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. So obviously that's, you know, should be at least a partial board wipe, and you may cast a card with converting mana cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So play that for 4, then you play that for 3. Right, let's see what we've got here then. Felidar Guardian. I wondered when I was going to pull one of these. So, many of you may have seen that Felidar Guardian combos with Saheeli Ray. So basically the combo is you play this, target Saheeli, you get a fresh copy of Saheeli in, then you mine Saheeli to make a copy, and you just keep going and it goes infinite. Not quite sure how much competitive play it's going to see in the long run. It certainly will do initially, but obviously Felidar Guardian, it dies to you know, Fatal Push if you can activate the Revolt mechanic. You know, most kill spells will do it. You can disallow the trigger. There's lots of things you can do to stop that happening, but it's certainly going to see some play, especially initially. Heart of Kiran. So this is a 2 mana 4/4. It is legendary though. I think with them having to ban Smuggler's Copter, they've obviously made that distinction. It's a flying vigilant crew 3, and you can actually crew it by using loyalty counters from Planeswalker. So if you use loyalty counters, essentially at instant speed. And I think I saw a foil. So foil Druid of the Cow. So moving on. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. So it's a 2 mana 2/1 with Menace. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you get an energy, and at the beginning of your upkeep you may pay 2 energy. If you do, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So that may see some play in, you know, for the card draw. I'm personally of the opinion that I don't think it's good enough, and I don't think it's going to see a lot of play long term. So what have we got here? Quicksmith Rebel. So, when Quicksmith Rebel enters the battlefield, target artifact you control gains. Tap this artifact, deals 2 damage to target creature or player for as long as you control Quicksmith Rebel. So essentially, it's another version of the blue Quicksmith Spy, but obviously in red. So again, for card draw, it's quite good. Lightning Runner. So this 2/2 with double strike and haste. Whenever Lightning Runner attacks, you get 2 energy counters. Then you may pay 8 energy. If you pay and tap all creatures you control, and after this phase there is an additional combat phase. So if you can get there in a red kind of speed deck, then that can be devastating. So, getting towards the bottom of the box now. Spire of Industry. So, on to the next booster. Can't hold on to cards today. Heroic Intervention. So it's a 2 mana instant, green and 1. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And a foil Ice Over. So, Hidden Herbalist. So I quite like Hidden Herbalists. So it's 2 mana. If you have had something leave the battlefield under the Revolt mechanic, then it gives you 2 green mana back. So you can cast another one of those, or something else at 2 mana, and really get some nice stuff on board. And then we've got a Shram's Expertise. So to go with Shram. So sorcery speed, 2 white and 2. Create 3 1/1 colourless server artifact creature tokens, and then cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So again, you could do a Shrine with that as well. Aether Miner. So this one, when it attacks, you get 2 energy counters. You can pay 2 energy to exile it, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So obviously you can do that if you block, it's going to die, pay 2 energy and bring it back onto the battlefield, and obviously the block still goes ahead, obviously unless there's trample involved. We've got planes and foil, Rogue Refiner. Inspiring Statuary. So 3 mana cost, 3 mana of any colour. Non-artifact spells you cast have Improvise. So basically your artifacts can help to cast that. I'm sure there's going to be some strategies in there to reduce mana cost and things. So I think that's going to possibly see some play. Baral, I've been waiting for one of these. I will be running Barals in my deck because I'm going control. So Baral, he's 2 mana, instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So, there's just so many upsides to Baral. I don't think you're going to be playing into turn 2. I think it's going to be turn 3 so you can protect him. But yeah, I think he's going to see play in a lot of control decks. Peace Walker Colossus. So it's a 6/6 for 3. Another target vehicle you control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn for white and 1, and it's got crew 4. It may see some play. Obviously, the vehicle decks are looking to replace the Smuggler's Copter. Crew 4 obviously makes it a bit more difficult to crew. Obviously, the advantage of Smuggler's Copter was it was had a low crew cost, so you could crew it essentially the turn after it came in. So let's pop like that. I can see a foil at the back. What foil have we got? A foil swamp. Lovely. Right, so we're into the final stretch here. So we have 3 packs left. Aether Revolution. So, Aether Revolution. Whenever a non-token artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Aether Revolution, deal 3 damage to him or her. So basically you get your card back, or they take 3 damage. Either way, it's a win. Midnight Entourage. So, other Aetherborn you control get +1/+1. Whenever Midnight Entourage or another Aetherborn you control dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So, I think I can see something peeking at the back there, peeking at the back, and we have a masterpiece. So this is the Black Vice. So it's Black Vice enters the battlefield, choose an opponent, beginning of the chosen player's upkeep. Black Vice deals X damage to that player, where X is the number of cards in his or her hand -4. That is going directly into a sleeve and directly into a top loader. So, final pack. Can we beat a masterpiece? Fatal Push again. Got that there. Kari Zev's expertise. So, Kari Zev, expertise. So, sorcery speed, 2 red and 1. Gain control of target creature or vehicle until the end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. You may also cast a card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So, that's lovely. Then, Island, and we've got a foil Scrap Trawler. So we've already discussed Scrap Trawler, and that's our pulls. So particularly happy I pulled a masterpiece. Great that I pulled a Baral as well. Please subscribe to the channel, and there'll be lots more videos going up. And we'll see you all soon. Thanks. I'm Simon at Geek.